So hi and welcome. I'm Kristen Boyle and I'm a yoga teacher in Denver, Colorado. And I also have the Business of Yoga Facebook group and the Beyond YTT podcast, which is what this is. And I have Todd Dosenberry on with me, and Todd is a bookkeeper and also very interested in yoga and meditation. So I thought this would be some good information for all of us. So Todd, I'll let you start.
Okay, yep, thank you. I'm excited to be here. So as you mentioned, I'm a bookkeeper currently. I've actually been an entrepreneur for 10 years, doing various things on the internet. I used to sell Nintendo Wii's on eBay, then American Eagle clothing, was blogging on health and this and that. And then this year, I started a bookkeeping business, kind of found me at the end of last year. And I got one client and it's been really great so far. And I'm into yoga. I've been doing yoga for almost a year, not like a whole lot because meditation's more of my thing. But I really enjoy yoga, meditation, that whole thing. And that's kind of why I'm focused on those types of clients. I just want to see more people do yoga and meditation. So I think it benefits everyone in that regard. So that's kind of who I'm targeting. So what I do, it's bookkeeping. So it's like anything that kind of relates to the financial aspect of your business. And it's really anything accounting related, but just not taxes. So the only thing I don't really do when it comes to accounting is I don't prepare taxes. I just don't like that currently. So, it's recording, classifying transactions, reconciling, to make sure what you do matches up with what the bank says happened. And then like preparing financial statements, like the income statement, balance sheet, and kind of explaining those to my clients. And then, maybe someone only needs to be set up in QuickBooks or Xero, and then they want to do their own bookkeeping. So I can do that kind of thing. And then maybe someone's been in business for a while and they need catch-up work. So they disregarded bookkeeping for several months. That's the case for a lot of businesses. In the class that I took to learn this, a lot of people that have clients, most people just need catch-up work, going back 3 months, maybe sometimes 3 years. And then yoga teachers typically won't need like any accounts receivable or accounts payable work, paying bills and that kind of thing. They might, maybe not, but I can do that kind of thing. And then communication with your CPA or tax preparer. So if you have one of those, then a bookkeeper can make that whole process very smooth. So why would a yoga teacher want or need a bookkeeper? Well, probably the first reason is that you don't like bookkeeping, perhaps. So, if you're a yoga teacher, you probably love yoga. You love doing that, helping other people do yoga and that kind of thing. And so why not delegate bookkeeping to someone else that actually enjoys that and can help you grow your business? And then, of course, saving time. So, you can have more time to focus on your clients and to teach yoga classes, versus taking that time to do bookkeeping. Like there's things that a bookkeeper know that like a yoga teacher, even really any business owner might not know, such as bank feeds. So my sister, I do her bookkeeping, or did for a little bit. And before, she was entering everything manually into an Excel spreadsheet, or actually Google Sheets. And that takes, it can take a couple minutes per like each expense, each transaction. But with a bank feed, when you're in QuickBooks, it just connects to your bank. So QuickBooks takes that transaction from the bank and connects it. And then all you have to do is just categorize it. So you say, hey, this was an office supply item from Amazon or whatever it is. So that's, what can take a couple minutes can take just a couple seconds. So oh, it says internet connection unstable.
We had a little glitch in the connectivity, so here we are again. Go for it, Todd.
Okay. So yeah, I was saying, don't know exactly where we left off, but so yeah, saving time. One thing is, with bank fee technology, just entering an expense into, whether you're using a Google Sheet or QuickBooks or whatever it is. If you have bank feeds set up, then that automatically is there, and then all you have to do is categorize it. So buy something on Amazon and it's office supplies, and you do that really quick. But my sister with Google Sheet, she was entering manually. So she didn't even know that technology was there, that it existed. So if you have a bookkeeper, they can know about these things, and it can save you hours of time every month, even if you have a really, really tiny business. And so the other thing, aside from saving time, that a bookkeeper can do is increase profits. So they can be your partner. I mean, if they're genuinely interested in your business, then they want it to grow. They want it to succeed. And that can be huge. You can, just talk about things outside of bookkeeping, or bookkeeping can lead to other things. And it can give you more time and confidence. So with more time, you can seek more clients, and then you can gain more and more confidence. You're getting more clients, you can do more marketing and that kind of things, and the things you enjoy outside of the bookkeeping. And then with the financial statements, as I mentioned earlier, a bookkeeper will present financial statements, and they won't just, a great bookkeeper, that's the difference too, is getting someone that actually knows what they're doing and wants to help you. Because if they just give you an income statement or a balance sheet, it's like, okay, what do you do with that? So if a bookkeeper really wants you to succeed, they'll explain that to you in an easy to understand manner, so that you really know what's going on and you can make better decisions when it comes to investing in a piece of software or something. So that can help tremendously. And then tax time. Here we are, almost October, 3 months to get to kind of think about your taxes. And so great bookkeepers are less likely to miss expenses that happen. My sister's missed expenses from doing it manually, and then they can help you find other deductions that you might not ever think of. And your books will always be up to date. So that makes tax time a lot easier to handle. It's a lot less stressful, and you may not even have to really do anything, because a bookkeeper can talk to your CPA, your certified public accountant or tax preparer, whoever that may be. Or maybe you use a software like TurboTax or something, but that all becomes a lot easier and less stressful when your books are in order, which having a bookkeeper makes that easier. But not everyone is ready for a bookkeeper, of course. Maybe you can't afford it. Maybe you're just starting out. Although if you are starting out and you can afford it, it might be a good investment. But if your business is super simple, yoga teachers, it really can depend on a lot of different things. It's hard to say whether yoga teachers need one or don't. Some need one, some don't, or, could be valuable. So if you're not ready, then what you absolutely need to do is save, any documentation, when you start a business, like if you have an LLC or something like that, and then any receipts, save all receipts, no matter the amount. And an app such as Expensify can be great for this. Because you can have a receipt and then just use your phone. It's great technology, and you just scan it with your phone and then upload it to the software and deal with it later if you want, or whatever. And then to keep track of your miles, if you're going to a studio or going, if you're a private teacher and you go to someone else's home or whatever it is, or you need to go pick up something at the store, you want to always keep track of your miles. And there's an app I've been using over the last month called Everlance, and it's absolutely fantastic. The reviews are unbelievable. And I'm telling my sister to use it for photography business, because she travels a lot for that. And you'll never miss a trip. You don't even have to have the app open. You literally just need your phone in the car, and who doesn't have a smartphone in their car these days? And you just drive, and it automatically picks up where you went. So having an app like that, Everlance, can be unbelievable. But either way, you need to track your miles. So save all receipts, keep track of all your miles, and then get a business checking account, because it can do wonders to separate, and you need to separate your personal from your business, how you spend your money. So it can not only do you need to do that, but it just makes it easier on yourself, on your accountant, saves you time, saves you money, all those good things. And then avoid using Venmo for your business. I think, I mean, millions of people do, and it's probably not the end of the world, especially if you're first starting out. But if you really want to grow and have good record keeping, then it's best to not use Venmo if you're also using it for personal. I'm sure if maybe they have even a business kind of where you can separate. I'm not sure, but you don't want to like mix those things. So Venmo is a common one where people will use it for your personal use. And then other apps I already mentioned. Everlance for miles. Expensify is great for receipts and inexpensive or can be free. And then I recommend QuickBooks Online for accounting software. It's just what I use. I was taught in Xero, which is Xero, but then I started using QuickBooks Online and got my I'm certified pro advisor, and I much prefer it. And it's what most small businesses in the US use. But I also checked out Wave Apps recently. So I've used Google Wave. It's waveapps.com. And that they got rebranded recently, and it looks very user-friendly, and it's free. So that's what's great, is it's literally completely free just for like the bookkeeping side of things. If you want payroll, you have to pay for that. If you want to use your invoice system, you have to pay for that. But just the bookkeeping, like everything that a yoga teacher would probably need or want, especially in the beginning. So if a yoga teacher wants to do their own bookkeeping, and they don't want to pay for QuickBooks, then Wave Apps is probably a good alternative for most yoga teachers, especially in the beginning. And then that kind of sums it up. I also mentioned Stripe. I've used Stripe before for payment. So like if you needed, receive payments for, teaching a class or privately with someone or whatever. And then my sister uses HoneyBook to manage clients. So any, contracts or whatever it is, emailing them back and forth. So it's great for photographers. And then I use Dubsado. Okay, so we got cut out again, but I mentioned HoneyBook and Dubsado. So those are just great softwares for managing clients. I use Dubsado for my business, and other bookkeepers I know use it. And then my sister has a photography business, uses HoneyBook. So if you want like a all-in-one system to manage clients, then both of those can be great as well. And so those are all the great apps that I have written down to recommend.
Well, good. That's a whole lot of really great information for yoga teachers. I think my biggest question comes with all of these different softwares. I mean, there's so many more apps that are coming out. Like you mentioned HoneyBook. I know I've looked into something called Schedulicity and Acuity Scheduling, which also kind of does that scheduling part. I haven't looked into how much it does, the bookkeeping part for you. Are you familiar with either one of those?
Yeah, actually, I came across the Schedulicity or whatever a few days ago. I haven't looked into it, but I use Acuity because I use Squarespace, and I think you get lifetime subscription to Acuity. So,
oh, really?
With that, yeah. So I just naturally use them, but I haven't actually used it yet. But those that I know that have used it loved it. So yeah, I mean, I kind of have what some people will call like shiny object syndrome. I mean, like you said, there's all these apps that come out. It's like a shiny object, and it's hard to resist. I mean, just a task management app. I have tried dozens of them, but I personally keep coming back to Asana. So, why should I keep trying them when for 3 to 4 years now, I've been using Asana. I always keep coming back to it. So,
and isn't Asana, was that created for yoga teachers in the first place, or is it something completely different?
Well, so I think Asana. I mean, so Asana is like a task management. I mean, the one I use.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think there's probably Asana for. Because I think I know what you're talking about. I'm blanking out a little bit, but I remember hearing Asana, something with yoga.
Yeah, there might
specifically,
be
but
something else out there too. It seems like there's so many different apps, and I actually love it that you try them all because you might actually be able to give some advice if someone has a question about which one should I use, because it is overwhelming. And I'm also glad to hear what you said about Venmo, because I actually do use Venmo very rarely
Mhm.
personally, mostly for business, but it's so easy, and that's one thing I like about it. But I also have PayPal, which keeps track a little closer. So I don't know what your thoughts are
Mhm.
on that one.
Well, do you use PayPal for personal as well, or just business?
Just business. I mean, occasionally there
Okay.
is, a friend who wants to transfer some money, but usually I mean, really, I'm not in doing a whole lot of just personal stuff on either of the apps. So mostly,
Yeah.
mostly business.
Yeah. So I would, yeah, on that actually. So my sister's a great example. She pays. I have another sister, so she pays the other sister, Alicia, money to babysit her kids when she wants to like work, and she was using PayPal for that. And I told her recently, I was like, hey, do you have Venmo? Because it's better to use Venmo for personal stuff and then PayPal for business. I think that's like a good way. Oh, hold on a second. No, it's fine.
Oh,
Here.
thank
I'm coming in.
you.
So yeah, I guess we can just continue that. That's actually kind of funny. Um, so yeah, so Venmo, I mean, if you use it just for business, then that is different. But I mean, it's just harder. I don't think it integrates with like QuickBooks. Like even with PayPal, you can have a bank feed set up with QuickBooks. So then all the transactions automatically come into QuickBooks, and then you just need to categorize them.
Okay.
And then I don't think you do that with Venmo because it's really just the app. I don't think there's like a web
It
version.
does. Well, I transfer money into my bank and I have it linked to my business account specifically. So when
Okay.
I do transfer, I can go into my online banking and I can change the note in there that says what that was for. So that's kind of how I do it. I'm not sure
Okay.
and how that looks, but
Well, what do you use? What do you use for your, do you use like a Excel sheet or
yeah, pretty much.
spreadsheet for like bookkeeping? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of the yoga teacher, yeah, I'm right on that cusp because I've been teaching in studios for most of
Hmm.
my career and just now working into that private practice kind of sphere. So all of what you're saying is right where I'm at of deciding, do I need this? Do I keep doing it myself? Do I keep it simple? But even what you're saying is when I think simple, I think fewer apps, and yet those
Hmm.
apps save time once you know how to use
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it takes, like, especially if it's more complicated, whatever, it can take more time to set it up. Like, if you decide to start using QuickBooks or a way of apps, the initial time is more time for sure. I mean, that's like another project. But then once it's all set up, once you know what you're doing with it, or you have someone else taking control of that, then it saves you unbelievable hours and hours of time going forward
it.
after
Right,
that starting point. So
right.
yeah, I mean, it's well worth it. I mean, just Everlance. I'm trying to get my sister to use it because she drives almost every day for her business,
Mm,
and you literally just need your phone with you
yeah.
to use that. And then once a week, you can open it, and then you swipe left if it's personal, and you swipe right if it's for work,
Okay.
and that's it. That's it. But you don't have to take that time to, to think about, okay, when did I drive this week? When was it for work? And then you have to like, calculate the miles and all that. And I mean, it might not take that much. I mean, maybe you're spending an hour a month, but if you're using an app like Everlance, it will literally take you a couple minutes per month.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that time adds up.
Yeah, exactly. So would you be someone that a yoga teacher could talk to kind of feel out for themselves? Am I at that tipping point of I've been managing all of my expenses alone and now it's time to look into getting some additional help? Would you be able to kind of guide them to make that decision?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, as I'm starting to do this, my whole thing is I want to like help as many entrepreneurs as possible. I mean, hundreds, maybe thousands, whether that's, answering a couple questions, and, really just on my own time and just for free. Like someone emails me or does a quick call, whatever it is. And then also, like, before I take in anyone on as an actual client, like a monthly client, we would do like a 1-hour consultation. So then, like, I would just ask, I'd be the one interviewing you or whoever it is, asking questions about your business, what you want, like where you want to be in 3 years, how you want to grow, and this and that. To determine if we're even right, to work together, and if so, in what way. And then if not, like, I really just want to help people, like steer them in the right direction. So, like, I want to help hundreds of people, and I can't have hundreds of clients. So,
Sure. Yeah.
That's kind of my thing. And, I love yoga and meditation, and think the more people that do those two things, the better the world will be.
Right.
So, it works for everyone.
So I know that a burning question for myself, but also probably for people listening, is like, what kind of cost investment does it look like to hire a bookkeeper, to work with a bookkeeper? And is there a minimum and then a maximum as it gets more complex, or yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So pricing, it varies, of course. But what I do is fixed pricing. So it'd be like, we would figure out a monthly price. So there'd be after the consultation, then I would create like a proposal and send that. And then you either, accept it, decline it, whatever, but it'd be like a monthly fee. So then both parties know what it is every month. And then that would be stable. And if it needs to change, that would be, months down the road, maybe years or whatever. But yeah, it can range. Probably, like, for me, I wouldn't be work to work with someone if it was like less than 100 a month. But if there's a little work involved, then it can be as little as that, and then up until, like 1,000 or more. But with a yoga teacher, it won't ever get that high if it's like a simple business. If it's a yoga studio and that person has like multiple studios, and that's when, they might have even inventory or whatever, but they're just more involved with that. So, and then it depends mostly on like how many transactions there are, because that is like probably most of the time is how many transactions one has per month, so how many expenses, and then, revenue, so how many times you get paid, and that kind of thing. And then how many like accounts do you have, connected? So if you're using Venmo and PayPal, and you have like 3 bank accounts, that's more work, that's more upkeep. And then kind of, what do you want? Like, do you want to see your financial reports and have them explain every month or once a quarter? So that makes a difference as well. So yeah, it really just depends on that as far as like the monthly kind of thing goes. And then some may just want to get caught up. And then, so I could like do cleanup work or catch up work, and then maybe teach that person. Maybe that person is a small business, but they want to make sure they're doing things right. So it could be where I just kind of oversee it and just make sure that maybe they do it. I teach them how to do it, and then they're doing it, and they're doing it right. And then once a month or once every 3 months or something, I just kind of double check their work. So that could be something as well. So yeah, the pricing, it varies significantly, but it wouldn't be less than 100 a month, but it could be as little as that. So, which could be very, very valuable.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like the idea of client education as well, being an offering that you can do where you can kind of check in and make sure that they're keeping their books in order.
Yeah.
Where they can perhaps get a little cleaner, a little more streamlined, and just kind of check in periodically to see how you're doing, or even doing the month to month as they ramp up and get everything in order. Or even as they're, I could even see in my situation, as my business grows, where I might go into a relationship with you to have you help me do it myself. That's probably, as you said earlier, going to build my confidence, also free up my time to do more marketing, to bring in more clients, And then all of a sudden I see, oh, I've got such a client load that I really can't give you up.
Hmm.
I could see that happening as well. So it seems like
Yeah.
a great opportunity for yoga teachers to get a little bit more educated, and at least from the angle I come at, where I'm really like working, my intention is to help yoga teachers as professionals, in this world.
Hmm.
Changing money mindset is a big part of that as well. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
believing that our business is at a level where it even needs bookkeeping, that's part of the money mindset. I mean, really, I want
Yeah.
to get to a level where I need a bookkeeper. So
Hmm.
I think it's all wrapped up in one thing.
Yeah. No, yeah, it can kind of make it feel more real in a sense. Like when I first started 10 years ago and I was selling, and I literally started selling Nintendo Wii's on eBay, the video game system. And it was fun. It was unbelievable, but I was keeping track of everything in a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet before I even had a MacBook. So it was like, but yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun, but that was like a lot of work. So I can only imagine now having like either someone else doing it or having it in QuickBooks, like a professional accounting system. Because even just that alone, like so I'm helping my sister. I was doing her bookkeeping, and it was on accrual basis, which involves a little bit more work. I got her back to cash basis, which means you record your expenses or revenue when you exchange money. And now she's going to do it. So it just, because her business is simple enough, and I kind of am teaching her. So we have like a 2 hour or 2 hour session. I'm teaching her, and then I'll kind of do it maybe once a month or something. But now she's in, the fact that alone that she's in QuickBooks is huge for her, because it saves her probably 4 or 5 hours, maybe more per month.
Mm.
And she's paying, it's like $17 a month or something, because I get like a discount on that. So, I mean, that's huge, just that alone. So.
Okay. Oh, well, I think this is all really great information, and I really appreciate you coming on here to share what you do, and even that perspective of educating your clients so that maybe they can do it themselves to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I think it's very needed, especially in the
Yeah.
yoga professional community.
Yeah.
So I also like the fact that you're into yoga and meditation. So
Love it.
well, so yeah. So how do people get in touch with you if they want to work with you?
Yeah, so just visit my website, Dosenberry, which is my last name, bookkeeping.com. So dosenberrybookkeeping.com. Very simple website. There's only a few pages, so can't really just go there, and you'll see. And then you can just, click on the contact page. You want to reach out to me, whether it's, just say hi or ask a question, whatever it is, I'd be happy to answer it. So yeah.
Wonderful. And I'll put your website on the notes for the video as well.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks for your time, and namaste.
Namaste.